present.
Welcome everybody, welcome to the 2022 Adidas Terex Infinite Trails race briefing. My name is Mike, I'm your race director. In the next couple of minutes I want to give you all the information which are necessary to be a successful competitor on the 2022 edition. When you saw the trailer, maybe you had some great memories on the last years. If you haven't been a competitor, maybe we got you excited and you can look forward to an amazing event. So what makes me really proud is that this year we have more than 950 competitors and great, a 40% of women. And this, I think this is a quota which is really high score in terms of trail running. Also 52 nations are represented on this year's edition. We have more than 350 volunteers waiting and being excited to be on course and being in every single position where they can help you. And this is what we call the One Community. And this is all about celebrate the sport. We celebrate the trails we run on, we celebrate the people we run with, and that's what we want to do, having a great weekend of trail running in a great community. So hopefully you're ready now for a race briefing. Grab your beer, your popcorn, make you comfortable on your couch, or if you're sitting with your AirPods in the underground train and getting ready wherever you are. So a couple of information. I recorded my race briefing on YouTube that you can easily scroll through. I made some chapters which makes it much more easy. Also, if you have some questions after the race briefing, don't hesitate. Watch my Instagram live on Infinite Trails race on Saturday, which is the upcoming Saturday at 7:30 p.m. You can send me some questions up front on the race director at infinitetrails.com. or comment while we have the Instagram live. Friday, then September 9th, which is next Friday, we have a mandatory race briefing at 7:30. Please join us on Instagram live and also watch out for the social media announcement. All last minute updates will be provided by the race management via our communication platforms, which is the SMS service, and this is the reason we're checking your phone number on registration. Also, the social media channels, and also please check the website for further information. Our schedule is very easy. On the Friday we open registration, so if you're in the town already, please come and join. 9 a.m. until noontime we have the first 3-hour block of registration, and then a little lunch break, and then coming back at 1 p.m. until 10 p.m. So please do not show up at 8 o'clock. If you are already at 2 o'clock in the city of Bad Hofgastein. The 8 o'clock until 10 o'clock is an emergency slot for people who got stuck in traffic or could not make it in time. So 7:30 until 8 p.m. already is the race briefing, latest update, weather update, information about the weather scenario, as well giving you the latest on the start line. 9 a.m. until 8 p.m. the Terex booth is open in the expo area, where you can test, where you can get equipment if you don't have it with you. Also, if you're bringing your family and maybe your kids with, 4 p.m. until 7 p.m. is the market run, which is the Marktlauf with the kids race. Saturday, race day, 5 a.m. We're opening the backdrop of in the Alpentherme. Also 6 o'clock is then the first start for the 65k group. 6:30 start for 45k, 7 o'clock for all teams, and 7:30 is the 15k start. 8 p.m. finish line cutoff, and half an hour later than last year. Also the start is half an hour earlier than last year. It's the cutoff for the teams, 65k and 45k, and then hopefully you are ready for a great awards ceremony in the Alpentherme in the main pool area. Sunday, September 11, new on the calendar, celebrate the sport with Kaiserschmarrn, with what else? 10 o'clock until 1 p.m. is our celebration on the top station of the Stubner Kogel gondola, and then around 1 p.m. that's the end of Infinite Trails 2022, and then you going home, and we hope that you will have a safe trip home. So first of all, the venue. The venue is a great venue which is located in the heart of Bad Hofgastein, in the Alpen Arena area, where you have everything like the finish line. But starting first with the athletes garden, or with the backdrop of, this is the thermal spa, is called the Alpentherme, where you're going to have your athletes garden after the race. In the athletes only area, where you're checking in the morning, where you have your pre-start, you can get ready there. Then we have the spectator area in the arena, an expo, which is exciting as well, the registration, which is called is happening in the building, which is called the Couse. Also, you see everything is right on the corner, no big distances you have to cover. Crossing the finish line, you are in the athletes garden immediately. So information, guys, is the key. If you don't get your information for the race, then you will have problems and you're going to struggle on course. So you need to know what's going on course, as well, how is our procedure. So we prepared a couple of downloads for you on the Infinite Trails website. If you go on the menu, you see the download button for the trail book, the GPS courses. You can find the race map, the GPS tracks, the elevation profiles, the real-life race course videos. We made a course video for each loop and for each distance. The trail book with including the bad weather scenarios and courses, and the race briefing as a PDF and as a video. This is how it looks like. That's the Dropbox. You can see team race, 65K, 45K, and then, for example, the team race, there you see all the data files, and including a file for the bad weather scenario. This is the trail book, just to give you an example. Intersection sign, everything is in. If you read, you're going to be the king. So COVID-19 rules will expire on October 23rd, so this will be not affecting us at all. We got a couple of COVID scenarios. Right now we are in the blue, which means normal, and this means non-restriction at all at the moment. But please check if you travel to Austria with the Austrian law and restrictions. Race course visualization. I think it's really cool if you have seen the race course before, and you can do this. We partnered last year with Neurun, which is an app from the United States where you can visualize the course. We got all the information for you in that app, and this is how it looks like. So you're starting the app, which is called the Neurun, on your app, on your iPhone or on your Apple device or Android device. And then we have the courses in divided by segments. So you see the 15K run, and you got the all information about the route. We got some notes as well. And then elevation profile, then you have the course map where you can see where you are. We got some kilometer signs so that you can get familiar. You can change the map into a satellite picture or into the street map. So I think this is something which is special for Infinite Trails to get you ready. This is how it looks like in the visualization. So as you can see, you're starting your course right at the start line. Then you get the first information about mandatory equipment. You have everything together in one app. Also information about course marking and everything. So this is like our course director, Sibylle, was taking this footage. So we run the more than 100 kilometers for you, and every single meter is covered. And you can fast forward. We got some symbols, which means like the orange dot with the arrow means like, okay, there is an uphill. And you see the notebook as well. Check out the website on Infinite Trails and download the Neurun app just to get familiar with our race courses. We will see them a couple of times in the race briefing again. Mandatory equipment. Mandatory equipment is not only meant to be an equipment for racing in terms of running. It's also meant if you have like an injury, if we need to evacuate, if there is a bad weather scenario, you don't want to get hypothermia. This is the reason we put 3 categories of mandatory equipment, which is the basic equipment, which is the cold weather equipment, and the hot weather equipment. And that means we're going to do an equipment check. Saturday, directly before the start, we're going to check all 65K athletes, and then other from the teams or from other distances, we do by random. Have the items in your hand and present them to us if you ask for. It makes it very quick in terms of before you're getting everything. If we say we want to see a headlamp, then you start searching in your backpack or in your vest. So just get these things out, and it's going to be less than 30 seconds, and you're in the start area. No cups at the aid station, so you need to bring your own foldable cup. Mandatory equipment basic. We want to see a flask or a reservoir, at least 0.5 liters. We recommend always 1 liter at least. A running backpack or vest, a waterproof jacket, a long sleeve top and a long pant. A headlamp for everybody is still on race course starting at 4:30. So if you are on race course at 4:35 and we control you and you don't have a headlight with you, then you're going to be in trouble. A whistle. A whistle doesn't need to be a single whistle. It could be also attached on your vest. There's a couple of vests out on the market where you have an integrated whistle. We want to see the GPS device or a watch. Alternatively, you print out a version of the route map, which was issued in that race briefing as well on the download section. A mandatory equipment is important is the mobile phone. It must be charged, it should be switched on, and your general emergency number should be saved, and make sure that your contract is working in Austria. Emergency equipment, which is also important. We have some leftovers from the last years, which is like a first aid kit, which you can purchase at the registration, but please remember safety first. Bring your own first aid kit with you, and which is the rescue blanket, 2 compressors, 2 first aid dressings, or a 2-meter elastic adhesive bandage. So now we're coming to the mandatory equipment for cold weather scenario, which is additional to the basic. It's a cloth and a beanie. It's also a waterproof pant now, an insulating top, long sleeve, replaces the long sleeve from the basic equipment, and also an insulating pant long replaces the normal long pant from the basic equipment. Mandatory equipment hot is we want to see a cap. We want to see at least a carrying capacity for at least 1 liter of water. And if you're checking in with your poles, you must carry them until you're crossing the finish line. That is really important. So if you're starting with poles, you must bring them back. The same thing, you cannot start without poles and getting them on the course and bringing them back. A lot of people asking me how this basic equipment works. So I think I made a chart like this. So you have your waterproof jacket, and then we're talking about a long sleeve top. This could be either a cotton, a lycra, or whatever. But it could be also sleeves which go over your elbow. This is really important. So we want to not having sleeves like cutting here and your t-shirt is here. You need to cover your whole arm. Then you can use sleeves instead of a long sleeve top. Same thing is with the long pant. It could be a normal trail running pant, but also it could be already a waterproof pant. We want to have a long pant which could be a waterproof pant as well. So example cold, remember, additionally to basic. So that is right now your waterproof jacket plus the waterproof pants. The insulating top, and now it's not cotton. Now it must be insulating. It could be a micro fleece, it could be like a merino, a wool, it could be something wind protected, but it must be insulating. Same thing with your pant. It could be an insulating pant, merino, fleece, or it could be a trail running pant with wind protection as well. So just get an idea, check your equipment. If you have this, if we're coming to a scenario which is cold and you don't want to get out in shorts. I'm getting emails asking me about, can I start in shorts? You need to have the mandatory equipment on your body, wherever it is. But you need to have it, if it's like in the backpack, wherever. You can start in short, but if we control you, you need to have it with you. No cotton. That I think this is the biggest message. It is like cotton is not insulating. So keep this in mind. Mandatory equipment, this was the mandatory equipment for all teams and individual races like 45K and 65K. Now for the 15K, as we are not going into high alpine terrain, it's very easy. It's the same system, like it's a flask, at least 0.5 liters. The mobile phone charge switched on, a general emergency number saved, and then that's it. Because they're not going over high altitude, there is not a chance for getting lost on the course. And so this is the reason we made a very, very low entry for the mandatory equipment. If it's getting cold, then you need to have a waterproof jacket. And if it's getting hot, you need a cap and the 1 liter capacity. Race routes, the same thing. If you're running with poles, then you have to bring them back. Okay, our emergency concept is based on an emergency number, which is the 066499863290. This is the general emergency number. If you have an accident, you don't call the rescue number in Austria. You call this number because this is the up center. This is where I'm sitting, where all the experts of mountain rescue, of the rescue sitting. And when you're telling us I'm on kilometer there, I'm just between the river and this little bridge, then we know exactly. If you're calling the rescue number, you may upending on the telephone in Vienna, and they have no clue about it. So this is the reason we implemented this rescue number. And if you call this, you have experts and they are knowing the area and you can talk to them. Also, if you forgot the number, you haven't saved it, it shouldn't happen, but we also put them on the back of the bib number. So if you flip your bib number, you're going to see that emergency number as well. Call the emergency number, give us a medical clarification, tell us what's happening, and then we tell you how to proceed. If we're sending a doctor, if we're sending a rescue, or even if you have to withdraw from the race, please call us, and then we make a decision. If you are too exhausted, then we're going to catch you from the course. If you are still able, then you're going to make your way down to the finish line on yourself. We are in alpine terrain. This is not a walk in the park. That is, severe weather conditions can happening. And if you are in Europe and if you are in the Alps, since a couple of months we have these severe weather conditions every weekend, even if it's thunderstorm or whatever. So please prepare for cold, for windy, for foggy conditions. It could be rainfall, light rainfall, heavy rainfall, snowfall. We have to monitor the 0-degree limit as well as thunderstorms, and this is the reason we implemented bad weather courses. For course marking, only these items going to be used on the course. There's no red, white bunting tape. This is only yellow with an Infinite Trails logo. So I got you a couple of signage, which are flags, which are signs, which are barrier tape, marking spray, and marking signs, and warning signs. So this is how it looks like in terms of flags, tapes. So you're always going to find them around on trees or on flags. Then we do the marking spray, which is yellow for all courses. We put them on the ground when it's raining. Maybe they're going to be swept away. But also, like, always watch out. If you are not finding for after a kilometer another tape, then you're on the wrong way. Then you must make your way back. But I promise you, we have more than 200 course marshal on course. You're not going to miss one of the turnoffs. Here's your signs. This is like how we mark, for example, like stones, which could be an obstacle. This is your color concept. All courses 15K, S, M, L, 45K is yellow, and only 65K parts. That means these are only parts 65K ultra runner is going to be on. This is the lavender color and marking these. This is your marking signs, upside down, pointing you the direction straight, left side, right side, and this is the same thing with the section only for the 65K athletes. Intersection signs show you the way. You can see right now on the top, 65K straight and SM, for example, on the right-hand side. And if you are at an end of a section of the 65K, then you're going to see this sign, which is on the right corner, showing you right now from this part onwards, you're going to follow the yellow signs. Hopefully you understand. Every time is yellow, except the 65K parts only is lavender. And if you're finished with your 65K part, then it's back to yellow. Signage. Stop means stop, guys, which is really important. You need to stop if you see a stop sign. That means there is like a road crossing, for example. This means attention. There is something coming up. This means danger, but we don't have danger, but it needs your attention. A stream crossing, like oncoming traffic, a street crossing, start of a section, an end of a section, 250 meters to an aid station, and this is like where you can drop off your garbage. 25 meters to the timing point. So please remember, there is a couple of signs which need your attention. We kept them to a minimum, but they are necessary that you obey them as well. So signs are not for fun outside on the course. They have a reason why they are. Let's talk about the race courses. 15K, 13.6 kilometers long, 871 vertical meters, and it's one aid station. And you're starting in the center right at the Alpen Arena at 7:30. You're following up, going over Goldberg, and then it's a beautiful trail on the Schloss Iron Mountain. Before you end in, or coming to the first aid station, then it's downhill. You're going on a sledge run and back down, and bam, done in 1 hour and 10 minutes if you want to be the first one on the finish line. Really important for all categories or for all distances and all loops, like S, M, and 65K. The Gamska-Kogel-Hütte, which is on the top of Gamska-Kogel, is not an official aid station. It is, the problem is we can't bring a full aid station up there because we cannot fly with a helicopter. We are not allowed to bring up things with a helicopter, and we can't bring the equipment which we normally need for an aid station up there. Last year we had an emergency aid station for the 65K runners, and for everybody who got exhausted, but you have used this as a normal aid station. And I got presented like a bill and an invoice of 300 euros. You had some coffees, some cokes and everything like this. That is not the idea of the Gamska-Kogel-Hütte. So what we're going to do this year, and this is done by the hut staff, they don't have running water. So they have to collect the water through rain. So they have a 10,000 liter water tank, and why? Because it was so raining a lot, that tank is full, and so we can make usage of this water. The rainwater is going through an UV disinfection, which kills the bacteria by 99.9%. But we cannot provide you like an official aid station, so you're going to get water there. So if you are thirsty and you will get something, but if you want to have a Coke or something like this, then you have to buy it. So please take money with you. And there is a big aid station on the bottom, which is the Raststätten. There you can fill up. There's power bar, nutrition, everything. So nothing as power bar, nutrition, nothing as Coke or anything else. No oranges, no apples, no bananas. Please fill up at Raststätten, and use the Gamsgau-Kogelhütte just as a water supply on race course. Okay, Team Loop S. Here we go. Well known, 21.4 kilometers long, 1855 vertical meters, and 2 aid stations. And the 2 aid stations are the Raststätten Alm. So very nice start through going into the valley. Here we go to Raststätten, and then we go to Schmalzscharte over 10 Kogel, Frauenkogel, up to Gamsgau-Kogel, which is Europe's highest crest mountain, back to Raststätten, and then all the way down to the finish line. Here again, this is like an important situation here, which is the top of the Gamsgau-Kogelhütte. You're going to see here a sign, which means like 65K goes straight and S&M goes right. This is your sign. Just keep in mind how it looks like. Here is your visualization. Congratulations, you made it to the top. Right now, bam, right side, and you're going down. Team Loop M. You're starting on the 15K loop. Then after the 15K, you're coming back to the Kurpark, and you have your first aid station or a second aid station. Gabelhütte is the first aid station. And 34.9 kilometers, 2,726 vertical meters, and the 4 aid station. Gabelhütte, which is right here. Then back to Bad Hofgastein into the Kurpark, where is a big aid station. And then Raststätten number 1. You're following the same as Loop S, Gamsgau-Kogel, and back to Raststätten. Here we are, and then we're making our way into the finish line. Same thing. Here's your point where you have to turn right, don't keep straight, 24.3 kilometers into your race. Same thing as you had seen before. Team Loop L and 45K. 45K is a new individual race, but takes place on the same race course as L. 43.7 kilometers long, 3,080 vertical meters, and 5 aid stations. So you're gonna leave the valley, and then you're gonna go on the Planitzen, which is very nice, to Poserhöhe, and then you go down to Grüner Baum, to the middle station of the Graukogel, to Altbergstein, and then it's all the way up to Tischkogel, which is your highest point, and Stubner Kogel, and then over Stubner Alm and the ski slope to Angertal, where is the next aid station, over Vogellehrfahrt, back to the finish line. Important for you, you have the first sign at 2.6 kilometers and at 5Ks. So this is like, don't miss this one, otherwise you're going to end up on Gamsgau-Kogel. This is how it looks like. You're coming off or on that trail, and then you take this on the gravel road, while the Loop S and the M follows on the small trail. This is not a dangerous section, but it's a river crossing. It could be dangerous. It depends on the water level. Sometimes it's a small river, sometimes it's rising high, but expect to get your feet wet. This is the situation how it was like 4 weeks ago. You see there is some wooden beams, and it's not like a big river, but it depends on the weather situation. It could be a little bit more. 21.8 kilometers into your race on course L and 45K. There is an important section. This is a road crossing. You're crossing the state road, and you are forced to stop. So no car will wait for you. This is not something that you have the advantage. You have to stop, which is really important. We will block the road for you, that you can't go over the road. And this is how it looks like. You're coming down into Blümelweg, and then this is your road, and this is like where we're going to stop you, and this is how it looks like. So we have a barrier, and then you go straight over the road when the marshal says it's okay. Next one is 33.7, which is not a road. It's also a road crossing, but what is really important is if you're coming out and running along the road, please stay on the left side of the road. Don't cross, and go on the right side. We're going to put some pylons there, but it's really important that you're going to stay on your left side. And this is how it looks. You're coming up, making your left turn, and you stay on that left side. Don't move to the right side. And when you're coming to that point here, like 50 meters, there will be course marshals, and then you turn in and you go in towards the finish line. We got some cutoffs at Loop L and 45K. 4:30 is the first one, which is the aid station in Böckstein. 5:30 Obere Zitrauer IM, 6 o'clock at the aid station Stubner Kogel. Remember the headlights from 4:30 onwards. And 7 o'clock is today's last cable car going down, and you need to be at the finish line at 8 o'clock. So the reason we doing this cutoffs is just to prevent you from making mistakes. And the idea is to let you run as far as possible. So for sure, if you are passing 5:30 Obere Zitrauer IM, you're not going to make it to Stubner Kogel, but we still want to have that feeling that you went over the highest point on your course. 65K, that's a monster. 60.5K long this year, 5,081 vertical meters, 9 aid stations, and you're crossing and you're going over all 3 big summits. Which one is the first one, which you already know, with Gamska Kogel. Then on the beautiful side down to Poserhöhe, and then it's all the way up to Graukogel middle station, then to the top station and over the summit of Graukogel. And then it's on the same route as the 45K and Loop L. And then it's all the way up to Tischtkogel, Stubner Kogel, and then Angertal, and then over the Vogellehrfahrt back to Bad Hofgastein. This is your race courses, same situation, 10.8. This is where everybody was turning right. You need to keep on straight. Same thing. This is the hut. Keep going and focusing the summit cross. Then on 16 kilometers, there is your next one. This is the end of a section, which was I'm mentioning. Then you reuniting with the course on Loop L and 45K. And then it's on the Graukogel middle station, where 45K and L keep straight. You need to make a left turn. And then we have another no pole section for you, or the only no pole section, which is on the Graukogel rim, which is clearly marked. There is the start of the section, no poles. There is a danger zone where the mountain rescue provides you ropes for safety as well. Please make use of it. And this is how it looks like. Maybe you understand right now why we call it no pole section. This is like sometimes you need your hands to grab on, and it doesn't make sense to have your poles in your hand. Then clearly mark end of section, and then you're coming down to the middle station, and there's another end of section sign, which you know from here. It's the yellow signs and turn left. Same situation on the road crossing. You know that already. Traffic road, and then 54.6. You have the same situation at Angertal road crossing. Stay on the left side. Your cutoffs are the same as 45K and in the 65K. 4:30 the aid station after 39.3 kilometers. Then 5:30 Obere Zitrauer IM 42.9. 6 o'clock, aid station, Stubner Kogel 47, and remember the headlight starting at 4:30 and 7 o'clock last cable car as well. Also, there is water supply from the huts. It's the same situation. It's not an official aid station, but if you're running out of water and you haven't filled up at the aid station in Böckstein, there will be water supply at Obere Zitrauer IM as well at Bockfeld IM on your way to Tischkogel. Bad weather courses. Bad weather is only announced by the race director. That means if we're running into a bad weather scenario, that means we're running the courses on the bad weather scenario, which are clearly marked in the race map as well. So in the trail book, I have also put in the loop bad weathers for every single, and also just to give you an example, is like what we are doing during the bad weather scenario is we're cutting the tops of the mountain. So we're not going on Gamska-Kogel, we're not going on Grau-Kogeltop, we're not going on Stubner-Kogeltop. So, but also please get familiar with these situations. Even if we don't have to run bad weather scenarios, it could be fog, for example, on Grau-Kogel summit, and then we would cut, for example, the mountain there, and we could make it longer on the other side. So Loop S, it's a very simple one. You're going up to Raststötzen, and then you're going on the same way down as you would do from Loop S, but not to the finish line. Then you have an aid station down at the Kurpark, and then you're going towards Sweden, and then making your way to the Fundner Alm, and then over the Areoplanstadel, which is part of the 15K course back to the finish line. For Loop M, it's 39.7. Also, you see, we tried to keep the distance almost similar also with the vertical meters, that you still have that amazing experience on the 600 kilometers of trails in the Gastein Valley. Loop M, simple as it is, it's the same thing on the first part, and then we're gonna go towards the Poser Höhe, following the same as Loop L, then to middle station of Graukogel, and then into Bad Gastein, and then along the river side back to the finish line. 39.7, a little bit longer than the normal Loop M, 4 aid station provided. L 45K, same thing, 3,000 vertical meters, 6 aid station. Until Böckstein, it's the same course as your normal route. So here's the middle station, then you're going over Böcksteiner Höhenweg to Böckstein, and then it's only to the middle station. So you're not going to the top of the station, and then back to Angertal, then on the 15K course right here, and then you're going over Aeroplanstadel back. For the 65K, as mentioned already, we're cutting the tops. So we're making our way to Raststötzen first. We have a little loop in the Raststötzen, and then back down, and then we're going to go on the same course as 45K and L. Then to the middle station, we're running up to top station, not further. And then the same way back to Böckstein, and then to middle station, Angertal, and then we go on the 15K course. And as you're an ultra runner, you don't want to go back, so we're making this more little dare tour over the Fundner Alm as well. That is the bad weather courses, and if we making adaptations on the course, that is related then into weather conditions, mudslide, landslide, whatever could happen. Aid station, really important for you. 10 aid stations along the 6 different courses. No cups provided at the aid station, bring affordable cup. All aid stations offer a full service, including drinks, food, and power bar sports nutrition. Please keep in mind, we're doing this from year 1 in 2019 already. We have no self-service. The staff will hand over you the items. This is for hygiene reasons. Crewing is only allowed in the area of an aid station, 50 meters plus minus on the left or on the right-hand side. This is how it looks like. All aid stations look the same. So when you have separated table with color codes, so water is blue, power bar is yellow, and food and Coke is green and red. Red is also hot nutrition if it's going to be cold. What are you getting? You're getting still Gasteiner water, power bar, isoactive, Coke, and if we do have a cold scenario, tea or soup. Power bar, sports nutrition, energy bars, and power gel shots. And I'm really happy that we have a partner like Power Bar who offers a big vegan sports nutrition. So all our power gels are vegan. Our power gel smoothies are vegan. The new natural energy bars are vegan as well. The True Oats are also vegan. So, but if you want to get familiar with the sports nutrition, go on the Power Bar website and check out what is important for you, what is vegan for you. But I can guarantee you there will be enough vegan products in sports nutrition as well. Fruits, all vegan. Apples, oranges, bananas, watermelon, cucumber. Sweet and salty snacks, mini pretzel, peanuts, crackers, which are gluten-free, muffins, which are vegan, and manna waffles, and salt if you want to use them on cucumbers or melons. We have a separation at the aid station. As you know, we are a very sustainable event. So we're separating between bio-waste, residual waste, and the composite plastic materials and cans. So please separate your trash on the aid station, and you're only allowed to drop off your garbage in an aid station. So if you litter on the course, that maybe you may be risking a disqualification for littering. Registration, we're getting closer, guys. You need to bring a completed medical form, a signed liability form, and an authorization form, which is also on the download section available if someone picks up the start number for you. So maybe you are still busy in business meetings and you're arriving late, but you have a friend who is there already. He can pick up the start number for you. And we need a 10 euro deposit for the Alpentherme wristband. That's it. What are you getting? A starter bag with your front number, with your back number, with your tattoo, with your foldable cup, with a sponge, with a headband which you can personalize for yourself, with logos, with images, with your name, whatever you want on the Terex booth. Remember, open on Friday and on Saturday. Then you're going to get a flask and a timing transponder. So we're not using the active bib numbers transponders anymore. So you will have a transponder which you need to fix on your foot ankle. Also a supporter ID, which I'm holding right now. The supporter ID is for you. If you're bringing some company with you, they get a discounted entry for 19 euros all day into the thermal spa, so you can enjoy the athlete's garden together as well. Essential for check-in in the morning, you're going to receive on registration a wristband. Put it on immediately and don't take it off. So if you lose it, you lost your ticket. You can't fly anymore. So that is really important. This is your entry to everything. Race procedure. In the morning, so you bring your bag into the lockers at the Alpentherme. So we don't have a bag drop off. You have a locker on your own, so you can drop off your bag, and then you're making your way to the check-in on race day, which is clearly marked with Infinite Trails tents. So it just be right before you see a big cast-iron inflatable arch. This is your start area, 100 meters away from the check-in area, and you're ready to go. So once again, here's your clothes off back, drop off in the Alpen Arena, and then your check-in clearly marked with the red and the mandatory equipment control on the fly. Pre-start area in the Kurpark, you can hang around there and stay together as a team, and then you're lining up. We have no specific start order. It's the first come, first serve base. And then we want you to estimate your speed. So if you are a rookie, you don't want to stand in the first row and being overrun by other people. So this is the reason we made some science, make it understandable. So if you see the leopard, that means you are a fast runner and you're going to be, bam, sprinting out of the finish line. If you're a little bit more advanced, then you're estimating you in the middle, and as a rookie, you're going to be on the back of the field. So just get an idea where you want to stand. Everybody has his personal timing. So your time starts when you're crossing the start line. So for the start, move to the start line, keep the distance, team members in one row, and only 3 in a row. So no 5 people in a row, because we have a staggered start, which was nice, and everybody wants to get his own personal picture from the photographers. The time schedule, starting with the 65K individual in the morning, 5 o'clock back drop off, 5 a.m. check-in, make your way to the mandatory check-in control, and then 5:30 pre-start, and at 6 o'clock we're going to send you off. 45K, half an hour later, 5:30 back drop off, 5:30 check-in, 6:05 pre-start. After the 65Ks left the start, you can line up on the start, 6:30 your start. The teams, 6 o'clock back drop off, 6 a.m. check-in, 6:35 pre-start after the 45K took off, and then 7 o'clock your start, and 15K, 6 o'clock, 6:30 check-in, 7:05 pre-start, and 7:30 on the start line. There's an early bird breakfast from 5:30 if somebody needs a coffee or a croissant. And then we have some really special. We have Penda, who is an Austrian singer-songwriter, represented Austria at the Eurovision Song Contest in 2019. Her boyfriend, Lukas Blöchel, also an Austrian artist, is running for the very first time the 65K. And Penda wants to support him. And she says, like, every single competitor needs a supporter. And this is the reason we talked together, and she offered a concert, and also Penda is presenting the official song of Adidas Infinite Trails, which he was making with a DJ duo with Nolvaro and Flynn. So Run is going to be our official song, and you're going to be sent off by Penda live. So talking about it, I get some goosebumps, and hopefully you will have also some goosebumps. This is the official song. Check it out on Spotify. After race procedure, this is our athletes garden. Amazing, thousands of square meters, only reserved for you. There's nobody else in the athletes garden who is not related to trail running. Even it's a volunteer, even it is like your company, or it is a trail runner. Nobody else is allowed on that race day in the Alpentherme. It's clearly closed, athletes only. This is how it looks like. Down in the front picture, this is the sauna area, and then the main pool area at Thermal Sea. So this is what you can expect. We have a big pick and run and food buffet, which is located in the restaurant. And to redeem your voucher, you have to bring it. And some people lost it last year, and they forgot the telephone, so we made it very easy. So we have a perforated voucher, which is attached to your start number. This is how it looks like on the back. So take this voucher off, present it on the cashier at the restaurant, and then you're going to be fine. Right in the middle, there is your Adidas Infinite Trails finisher shirt. We also have there an Adidas Terex photo booth, where you can play with the camera. We got some altitude profiles and some surprises for you. Then Edelweiss will be represented with a big beer booth, Power Bar, Angastiner. You can pick up drinks and food. And then also we have the Reload Center, which is the massage center located in the medical part of the Alpentherme. You can book a free complimentary massage for teams and 45K and 65K. Book your slot via the no-queue system. After the race briefing in 2 days, you're going to receive an email telling you everything about no-queue, which is also in the event bags. And what is really important, as it is the medical section of the Alpentherme, you please bring an FFP2 mask, which is really important. If you forgot one, you can get one on the cashier at the Alpentherme. But please do not forget your FFP2 mask. Also, what is really important, don't forget it's a 10 minutes walk. We make it very easy. You're adjusted and you know exactly the course marking. So we made the same course markers for massage, FFP2 mask. It's a 10 minutes walk roughly. And please shower. It's nicer. Also, in the athletes garden, this year we have a speed slider contest, even on a tube or in the normal, between 6 and 7 o'clock. So we have a speed slider contest. If you want to take part, just come there, sign up. Also, well known, the sauna infusion of Elvis, the Elvis show, the pizza show, and the Aladdin show. And the last one at 7 is also a 65K competitor. So he was running on the course with you guys. And so I think there's going to be something amazing. Everybody has been already on the sauna infusion, knows what I'm talking about. Supporter ID already presented, which is your discounted all-day entry for your families. Award ceremony, what a big party. 8:30 in the main pool area. We want to see the top 3 of each category, 15K, 45K, 65K, and the teams. Also, the Minister of Sports will be representing a trophy to the best Salzburg Land team, the first local team, and the first Adidas Runners team. So guys, get ready if you are part of the Adidas Runners community. Then we have our get together starting already at 6 p.m. until 11 p.m. in the main pool. Bring your swimwear. DJ Chainsaw and DJ Sambuca are going to pump you up in the main pool area in the Alpentherme. If you can't get enough, we will listen carefully to you after race party. Celebrate the sport from 11 p.m. until open end. 2 destinations. One is die Weidmoserin, which is right based on the cable car down station of Schlossalm, and also right on the opposite side of the street, you just need to go through the tunnel, is Celebrate the Sport in the backlift, opposite side of the cable car. So 2 options to get wild on the after race party. Event bags are already set. We have an e-starter bag, no vouchers, nothing in the bags. So all information, links in one place, massage booking, practical information, other goodies and discounts from our partner as well. This is how it looks like. You're going to receive an email. If you open the link, then you see here, for example, the Reload Center. Race briefing is in there as well. So everything is on the event bag. Leaderboard, results and tracking, very easy. Go on the website. We have a leaderboard, a tracking and results. Also on the result page, if you haven't found it last year, there is down at certificates, there is your personal race certificate. So if you go on the result, click on your name, and then you can download your personal race certificate. New, Sunday, September 11, 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. at Stubnerkogel in Bad Gastein. Celebrate the sport with Kaiserschmarrn, hosted by the Gasteiner Bergbahnen. So the Gasteiner Bergbahn likes to invite you to a special celebration. Everybody can go on the top of the mountain, free on the gondola, and then it's all about having Kaiserschmarrn. On the back of the voucher, you also have the information. Salzburg Verkehr is our mobility partner. Make sure that you can go for free in the district of Salzburg to and back from the event, but also you can go on Sunday to the Kaiserschmarrn party by bus. We created a barcode for you, giving you the information about the bus, where it departs, and the departure schedule and arrival schedule. So, but you need to book a free event ticket if you want to go on the bus, and please do that, because we want to have like a sustainable travel on the whole event. This is where it is. It's on the top of Stubnerkogel, and I promise you, when you go out of the gondola, you see the full panorama of the Gastein Valley, and you can point, this is where I was yesterday, especially the 65K, see the full route on that panorama. Free cable car transport with athletes wristband only. Trip planner on the website for making your trip to Infinite Trails and back. You can just type in where you are, where you want to go, and then it prints out an event ticket, which you can show in the train or in the bus. Sustainability is something which comes from heart. This is a really important event for us, and in terms of sustainability, we have such a great community and we want to give something back. And this is the reason we plant a tree. This is like an initiative of the community giving back, and we want to reforest 1 hectare of Swiss stone pine tree as well of European spruce in the Gastein Valley. That means we need about 4,000 euros. This is roughly about 800 trees. And you can make a difference by donating 5 euros, and you can purchase like a plant seedling in the expo area. And Our biggest wish is that at the end of the event, we reach this goal of 800 trees. And if every single competitor buys a tree for €5, then we have already reached this goal. And our partner is going to contribute a second hectare. So would be great if you guys buy one, then our partner buy another one. And this is like our biggest goal, to give something back to the nature we're using as a playground. Adidas Terex booth, I already told you, in the expo area. Test and try, a heat press, a print gun where you can personalize your own things, a special offer, and don't miss the world famous Terex waffles. Sportograph is your competitive photography service, individual shots on race course, overall pictures, and as a surprise an adidas.com voucher, so it's almost free. So if you purchase some Adidas goods on the website, then you're getting the photograph package. Share your experience. Our hashtags are Infinite Trails Race, Visit Gastein, and Adidas Terex, and whatever you like to do, but you're going to help us if you're using those. Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, whatever you take. And yeah, that's it. That's our race briefing for 2022. Hopefully you got all the information which you wanted. And remember, Saturday, 7:30 Q&A session with me. Don't hesitate to send me an email, infinite-trails.com, and then I can prepare for your questions already. Safe travels, last good training, and then I'm looking forward to welcome you, every single one, on the finish line. See you guys.